Hello, Jason here from septictank.co.uk and Septic Tank TV. That's right, we're the only UK's live Septic Tank TV channel. In fact, when we're not live, we're still the UK's only Septic Tank TV channel. Welcome. As I said, my name's Jason, and if you'd like free help and free advice, then I'm your man. I'm your man, and this is the right place to be. So we're answering questions in today's live broadcast, and that is, how much does a new septic tank cost? Well, that's a very good question. How much does a new septic tank cost? Well, in a minute, I'm going to show you, but I just want to make this one point to you. If you're looking for a new septic tank, there's a really basic point that you need to consider first, right? And that is the type of tank you buy. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, well, basically, there's two types of septic tanks on the UK market, and one is cheaper than the other, but it costs more to install than the other tanks. So you don't save any money, right? All right, so let me start by saying, right, what I mean by that, right? Okay, so there's two types of tanks. So two types of septic tanks you can buy, right? There's the onion-shaped septic tank, and there is the, let's see if we can do this right. I'm not the best artist in the world, but you get the point there, don't you? So there's two types of septic tanks. There's a big bulky onion tank, and there's a low profile tank. So if you imagine this is the grass here. Okay, so that's the grass. All right, so these tanks are cheaper to buy up front than they are. They're about 200 quid cheaper. All right, so if I just put that here, so if I put £200 cheaper to buy, all right, but and wait for this, right, they cost you an extra £1,000 plus to install. Right, so that's the first thing I wanted to point out to you before I explain how much a new septic tank costs. It's not just the upfront costs that you need to worry about here. It's how much it's going to cost by the time you've installed it, okay? So I'll go and show you in a minute exactly the price of septic tanks. But for the case in point, right, these tanks are typically £200 cheaper than these tanks, right? But they cost 1,000 to 1,200, 1,300 quid more to install. So with that in mind, I'm now going to go over to the computer. So follow me, and I'm going to show you how much a new septic tank will cost you. Have a look at this. All right, so here we are on septictank.co.uk. We're on septictank.co.uk right now, and we do lots and lots of things to do with septic tanks, as you can see. So if I just go on the septic tanks here, just click the septic tanks at the top there. There's the onion tanks I was talking to you about, right? And here's the low profile tank. So typically you can get an onion tank starting at $699. These are very good onion tanks here. And then you've got the low profile septic tanks, which in this instance are the same price, but will work out 1,000 quid cheaper to install. I'll explain why in a minute. But I just wanted to show you how much a septic tank costs. Now, if you're looking for a really, really amazing offer, right? We do something called complete septic tank and soakaway kits. They're complete kits, right? They're designed for 1 to 2 bedrooms, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8 bedrooms, and they're complete systems. Let me just give you an example of one, right? Let me just give you an example, right? They come with all the pipe work. They come with the inspection chamber. They come with the tank. They come with the crates. They come with everything, right? A complete system. Now, if you consider it costs You have to pay someone £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 to install a septic tank and soakaway. These are only 1,499. So you can see this is an incredible offer. But let me just get back now to the original question that I was going to show you. So why are they going to cost £1,000 more to install? Why? Because you've got to get a bigger digger to dig a bigger hole. Once you've dug, so that's going to cost you an extra £200-300 to do. Plus, you're probably going to spend another 50, 60, 70 quid in juice to do it. Plus, it takes an extra, these take 40 minutes, an hour to install. You've got to also put a concrete blanket around these tanks, right? Around these septic tanks. If you don't put a concrete blanket around these tanks, then the company who sell the tanks, the manufacturers, won't warranty them. To concrete these tanks in costs 6, 7, 8, 900 quid and more, depending on the size of the tank. So, you know, I'm being very generous saying £1,000 there. In reality, it probably costs you 1,200, 1,500 quid, right, by the time you've installed it. Plus, it takes 3 or 4 days for the concrete to set, blah, blah. You get the point. So compared with an hour and just backfilling this with shingle, right, backfilling it with shingle compared to backfilling that, putting a concrete blanket around it, you know, waiting 3 days for it to set and a bigger digger. That's why, although these are cheaper up front, you've got to beware, because the septic tank merchants won't tell you that they cost an extra 1,000, 1,500 quid to install. So there's the two types of septic tanks. So now we're in a much better position, aren't we, to answer the question, how much does a new septic tank cost? So now you know. So personally, and it is just personally, for me, I go for the low profile septic tanks every single time. And because they work out, they're not only easier to install, but they're also cheaper to install too. So thank you very much for watching this live broadcast today. If you want more free help, you want more free advice, just go to septictank.co.uk, give me a ring, and I look forward to getting your call and looking forward to helping you.